I welcome everyone on another session of Nitish Mehra and Associate webinar series. Today we have with us Mr. Nitish Mehra himself present on board with us. Mr. Nitish Mehra, advocate who has been practicing mainly in Delhi High Court and Supreme Court of India and has a leading lawyer in criminal side. He started his journey of practicing law in 2008 and then he remained an office law researcher in Delhi High Court. The famous popular criminal matters he did was nationwide popular case of Baby Falak case, and he also remained part of association in Samjhauta blast case. He has also got his various cases of civil and criminal reported in leading newspaper. He will be speaking today on amendments in Commercial Court Act. Over to you, sir. You may start the session.
Thank you so much, Kriti, for that wonderful note of introduction which you have given for me. So I welcome everybody on the board today, and it's a quick dose session for our amendments to the Commercial Courts Act, which has recently taken place. So starting with the highlights of the amendments of Commercial Courts Act is that the minimum value of dispute of pecuniary jurisdiction reduced to 3 lakh rupees. The Commercial Courts Act has been split into two: district judge level and below district judge level. So commercial appellate courts has been now introduced, and a mandatory pre-institution mediation has been prescribed in the act now. Government has now to appoint the commercial court judges, which was earlier used to be appointed by the Chief Justice of the concerned high court. So the government on May 3rd, 2018 promulgated an ordinance amending the Commercial Courts High Courts Act 2015. These amendments are an attempt to expand the scope of the commercial courts in India. They will also contribute towards improving India's ranking on the ease of doing business index released by the World Bank. However, it remains to be seen whether it has hastily drafted changes incorporated or by way of the ordinance achieve the desired effect of the increased efficiency of the resolution of the commercial disputes, whether they add to the chaos of the fluctuating jurisdictions of the courts in India. The key changes are discussed here in below. So the ordinance amends section 1(1) of the act, which now states the act may be called as a Commercial Courts Act 2015. So the same has been amended by the Commercial Courts Act Amendment Bill 2018. The name of the act, which was prior to the amendment, was the Commercial Courts, Commercial Division and Commercial Appellate Division of the High Courts Act 2015. However, it created a confusion as to whether these courts were merely the separate division of the high courts or the new courts. If they were, then the act did not bring about any significant change, given that the high courts were already functioning in the commercial branches, and that the commercial courts were though existing in the high court at that particular time. So, with a change in the name as Commercial Courts Act 2015, it will send a clear message that there are separate courts with different procedures constituted for resolving the commercial disputes. So, the ordinance notably amends the specified value as defined under the section 221 of the act, reducing the value from INR, which was 1 crore rupees 10 million approximately $150,000 to INR 3 lakhs. So a minimum value has now been set up, which is now INR rupees 3 lakhs. Earlier the baseline was rupees 1 crore, so there was a lot of chaos in the society that the people who have with a lower amount of recovery will not get the opportunity to come through the Commercial Courts Act. So government naturally decided, and this change has notably been brought into the act, so that the amount which are less than 1 crore also can get a justifiable decision in their favor with a recent amendment, and the courts can dispose of the matter as expeditiously as possible, as a time of 6 months has been given in the act. So by adding this amendment and breaking down the value of the dispute as to be covered in the Commercial Courts Act, there would be a large number of disputes which will fall within the ambit of the commercial courts, which were previously outside its scope. It appears that its intent is to meet the parameters used to gauge enforceability of the contracts of world banks and ease of business dealing. With this change, it is expected that the data of the commercial courts is constituted under the Act would now be used as the pecuniary jurisdiction starting from INR 3 lakh rupees. So the ordinance, what it has, introduces the commercial courts, even the jurisdictions where the concerned high courts have ordinarily original civil jurisdiction. Introduces commercial courts, appellate courts, and splits commercial courts into two types. Let us see what are the two types of those commercial courts. So commercial courts jurisdictions where the High Court have ordinarily original jurisdiction. Earlier, the commercial court divisions of High Court were established in the places where the High Courts have OOC jurisdiction. These divisions dealt with the commercial disputes of specified value of rupees 1 crore that I earlier said or higher. However, the specified value is now reduced to Indian rupees 3 lakhs. So why there is a need to repeat this thing every time? Because this is the major amendment which has been brought in the Act. And after bringing of this amendment, there would be a large number of disputes of the commercial nature which would fall in this category. So accordingly, the ordinance which is now become an act establishes the commercial courts at the level of district judge also, even in the places where the high courts exercise original civil jurisdiction. That is original civil jurisdiction which we state. That the state government may specify the peculiar jurisdiction of such commercial courts. However, the state government cannot specify an amount which is less than 300,000 more than the peculiar jurisdiction of the district courts in the said area. So here a hierarchy which was there prior to amendments of this act. So the first was earlier the commercial division where the high courts have ordinary original jurisdiction, that is Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, Kolkata and Himachal Pradesh. The commercial court established at district level headed by the district judge, that is the district judge. And thereafter it was a commercial appellate division. So let us now see that post amendment what has happened, how his diagram has dramatically changed. So now this is post amendments. So now the commercial court established at the district level is headed by the district judge or additional district judge. So each commercial court has their own additional district judge who will heading it, because the peculiar jurisdiction in our Delhi state is 3 lakh rupees for the senior civil judge. So any dispute above the 3 lakh rupees would definitely go to additional district judge. So in that, what has been said that any dispute which is less than 3 lakh rupees and that too of a commercial nature would not fall within this category. But yes, obviously, if it is above INR 3 lakh rupees, then it would certainly go to the court of the ADJ who has been specified and designated for this particular purpose. So the commercial division where high courts have ordinarily original jurisdiction like Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, Kolkata and Himachal Pradesh, that too remains the same. But now there is a commercial appellate division of the High Court which has been established post the amendment in the Commercial Courts Amendment Act 2018. So now this is a further specified chart which I have made of that what was there at earlier and what is now right now. So let us see how and what are the changes which has been brought with regard to the appointment of judges in the commercial courts. One of the most critical changes introduced through this ordinance, which is now became the Act, is with respect to the appointment of the judges of the commercial courts. Earlier, the state government could appoint the judges only with the consultation, that will say the concurrence of the Chief Justice of that particular High Court. But now, after the amendment, the state governments have been given the power to appoint such judges even without the concurrence of the Chief Justice of any particular state. So now, this is one very important provision which has now been introduced post amendment, that is the introduction of the mandatory of pre-institution mediation. So what was the need felt to overcome the lacuna was that since these disputes have a nature of the commercial, so the parties who are otherwise dealing with them each other in a long run of time shall not be directly been put into any kind of a dispute. So this provision has been brought in to have a pre-institution mediation. So if in that possibility the parties come together and if they are willing to settle, that can be done by sitting in the pre-institution mediation. That too, which will help will be done in the help of the particular state legal services authority of that particular state. So let us see what the Act says. The Act says that the inception of Section 12 in the Act, it entails that where suit does not contemplate urgent interim relief. So that means that wherever you have an urgent interim relief, in those circumstances, you can definitely bypass this pre-institution mediation as circumscribed in the Commercial Courts Amendment Act. However, the plaintiff has to undergo a pre-institution mediation as a rule if there is no urgency. In this regard, authorities constituted under the Legal Services Authority Act 1987, as I just said, will be notified, and such authority within 3 months from the date of the application will decide it. It further entails that the settlement arrived by such a mediation shall have the status and effect of an arbitral award, that too under section 30 subclause 4 of Arbitration and Conciliation Arbitration Act. Now this is very interesting. Though the mediation settlement shall have the status of the arbitration award, but that cannot be challenged in of the same manner as of section 34, but it has to be challenged accordingly as per the amendment in the Appellate Code of Commercial Courts. So what is the conclusion? There are clearly the changes which have been the positive changes that we see in the Commercial Courts Act, such as the commercial courts being constituted for the cases of the lower value and introduction of the pre-institution mediation. So by bringing the pre-institution mediation and having the value lower, the platform has now been even set for a common man, what we say, because earlier what has been said that it has been raised to 1 crore. So this Commercial Courts Act is for the high people or the people who have reputed in society who are earning into the crores. So those who would be enjoying the benefit of the Commercial Courts Act, now that has been ruled out. The Commercial Courts Act is now available for everyone where the dispute is above INR rupees 3 lakhs. However, in certain areas like the jurisdiction of commercial division, vis-a-vis the jurisdiction of the commercial courts, further the clarity is required. Further, the government's ability to appoint commercial court judges may raise certain issues. The government's focus has been improving the case of doing business in India, but as discussed, the act is now a more of a mixed bag. Now, further adding into this is that there has been certain judicial decisions by virtue of which the time limit, the maximum time limit of filing the WS, which has been set up, that no WS will be taken on record within a period of 180 days, that has been settled by the Supreme Court. Now, there is no other position which has been now required in this case. Further, in the Commercial Courts Act, I want to add 2 more things, that a period of 6 months is to be given for disposal of these cases expeditiously. No doubt, these amendments, as has been brought out in the Commercial Courts Act, has certainly will give more powers and would bring positivity among the businessmen who look to solve their dispute as expeditiously as possible. There can be no unnecessary adjournments which can be taken by either of the councils in these matters. So with this, I would like to conclude with today's session on a small session of the amendments in the Commercial Courts Act. Over to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for making all the efforts and enlighten our young lawyers and students who are watching this and explaining them one of the most important topics in such a lucid manner. We will look forward for more insightful sessions from you. Once again, thank you for so much for taking your valuable time, and have a great day ahead, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Preeti.